Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while, it's been a minute. Yeah, so, hold on. Still sounds like it's metal, so nobody's replaced it with boxes to look like a minute, I hope anyway. Let's peel back the cover. There she is, in all her glory. As you can see, I've painted it since I've not been on camera, and it's beautiful, isn't it? It's just the colour is just amazing. It's matched so well across the car. I won't have any negative comments because you can't see your face in it. So yeah, so I've hardly touched it, to be honest. I've done a few little bits which we'll go through. So yeah, so what I've been up to? Just off camera, let me just turn the camera slightly. How can I do this? There we go. There's Stan the van. So, Stan the van decided at 70 miles an hour, because that's all you're allowed to do on a motorway, he decided to just, the engine did not want to, well, a valve did not want to be part of the engine anymore. So it dropped a valve. I thought the timing chain had snapped, and a lot of other people around me thought the timing chain had snapped. The internet says the timing chains don't snap. Well, they're right, they don't, because they didn't. It dropped a valve, and it made a right mess, big time mess. So, with the help of my uncle, I have fitted a new engine, new to me, new to Stan in that engine in Stan. So that's all up and running now. So it was a manual that I took it out of. I'll show you the donor vehicle. You should be able to see it. Let's have a look. That's Bumblebee. I'm just doing all this in one take. It's crap, isn't it? So basically, took the engine out of that, put it in that. It was a manual in Bumblebee, which we've made it to the auto again. There's a lot of work that. Glad it's done though. It's back up on the road. It's taxed. It just needs insurance. In the next couple of weeks, that'll be back on the road. Made some adaptions inside as well. If you're interested, I'll show you them at some point. It's not finished yet. So yeah, so that's taken up a lot of my time, a lot of my stress, a lot of my money, to be quite honest with you. So that's one of the main reasons why this has had not anything done to it. So yeah, so that, like I said, that's Bumblebee in the corner there. So back onto this. It's now time to start working on it again. So I'll show you some things we've been up to. What I'll do is I'll bring the camera in, and just to remind us all, because I've not seen it for a while either, we'll have a look how pretty the engine is again. Right then, let's take the bonnet off and have a look. Look at that. Beautiful. So, the no oil sticker, which isn't coming off very easily, can come off now because it has oil in the engine. It's not the oil that's staying, but it's oil that's in the engine now. Because I was worried that there wasn't much oil in it, since I've taken it out of the Micra and put it in here. So I've put oil in it. It's got more than it needs for now. And I've turned it over by hand, and it does turn over, so that's good news. So that's the engine side of things. Since I've done that though, I've noticed I've got a leak, so I fitted a new sump to this engine, because it had been parked in a field for a long time and it was rotten underneath. So I fitted a brand new sump, and it's leaking because I fitted new, because we all know I'm a bog pervert, we're all aware of this fact. So I fitted new sump bolts, and one of them's cross-threaded and it's just not tightening at all. So it's leaking out of the gasket with the seal between the sump and the block. So a couple of options I could really do. In fact, I'll take this off and I'll show you where it is, where it's leaking from, and I'll show you the options I've got and the option I think I'm going with. So as you can see, there's oil down there. Move. And basically it's coming from there. It's leaking out of there. So there's a... Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Here you can see some bolts. So this one here is just not sealing properly. It's really loose. So my plan is I could drill and tap it, or I could drill and nut and bolt it. And I think that's the better option because it's on the outside. It's much easier to do. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll clean all this up and I'll run a bit more sealant on it. And hopefully that should resolve that problem. It's not leaking from anywhere else. It is literally just there. So that's on the list to be done. Then we can fit the exhaust manifold again. I'm routing the brakes. So I think you've seen previously, I modified this bracket here to accept for the manifold. The problem I'm having is that is close. So I've got these braided brake lines, and again, I'm not sure where I'm fitting that. Obviously, it would usually go there, I think. Whether it goes there or not, I've got space for it, but I can put it wherever I want, really. So yeah, so that's an issue. This is a bit of an issue at the moment. So this is something I need to look at. I might even just get a ballpoint, the back of an hammer, and just whack it one. Obviously, I've fitted the gearbox reservoir as well. Master cylinder, is it a master cylinder? Yeah, I think it is. Which will then come down here and come to the wheelwood push-pull. So that's it for engine side of things. We'll go around to the side and have a look at this. Me and Adam Campion have done this. So the hardest thing about engine conversions is the wiring and drive shafts. You can mount any engine you want anywhere. It's just a case of welding and rubber mounts. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's quite simple. So that's not the problem. It's these. So as you can see, we've measured them. So we jacked it up, did it at ride height, and then we did it at drop when it drops, and then we jacked it up as well. So we said here 55 centimeters to 60 centimeters, and 54 to 59. So we settled on there 57.5 for the long shaft, and the short shaft, which a lot of you will know about short shafts. Obviously that was a 21, I think, 26 to a 20 to a 25, and we've got 23.5. So I will include a video now that I filmed for TikTok of the drive shafts. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just take a minute to appreciate the workmanship in these? So this is a drive shaft for my Nissan powered Mini. So I've got a Nissan Micra engine in my Mini, and obviously I'm using Micra gearbox and I'm using Mini outer, so that's the hub and everything like that. So Adam Campion, who is a famous TikToker, friend of mine, came up and measured the drive shaft. So what we've done is we've cut the mini shafts down. Well, I haven't. A friend of Adam's, who I'd like to say is a friend of mine, Chris, has played with his lathe. He's cut them down, and what he's made is he's made these, look. So this is Micra, this is Mini. So they will slot into there like that, and then what will happen is they'll be welded all the way around there, all the way around. Once that's done, slide this on. Obviously before that's done, that will be on. That will go over the top, and then that will be welded all the way around. So these will be stronger than original shafts. So obviously you need two drive shafts. So this is the other side. So put them together like that. Look at the fit. Ah! And then slide that across there, weld that. So again, Mini outer, Micra inner, and then we'll weld them. Now the reason they're not done, I mean, just look at the workmanship. Oh, so impressed. So the reason they're not welded yet is because we need to fit them up and measure them just to make sure they're right. So obviously any changes can be made now. And that slides over there, and then that will be a drive shaft. So as you can see, them drive shafts are absolutely stunning. The only issue is one of them is too short. So thanks to Tony Aylott, I've got a new drive shaft on its way to Adam, which is going to go to Chris, which is going to be turned, and then what did we agree? 10 mil too short. So we're gonna add that 10 mil. He's gonna cut them 10 mil longer, and then we're just gonna go straight for welding. That will work. We've measured and measured and measured. So, so I was worried about this a while ago. Can you see that there? It looks like it's towing right in, but apparently it's the shape of a Mini because they go narrower here, or is it fatter there? And oh yeah, they bulge out in the middle. So that's what's up with them. Got a new pit monkey. So they bulge out. Hey, Toby, get down. So they bulge out in the middle, which makes them look like they're towing in. Now, one thing that definitely won't help is the what they're called, rear arms, I want to call them. They're not tight, because when I fitted this subframe, the bolts are tight for the frame itself, and these are on, but they're not in the centre where they tighten up. We finished? They're not tight, so they need to be tighter. So my plan is to take these off and just make sure everything's okay with them, and then I can tighten it back up. So we're now in the boot now, and I have had to, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a previous video, I've had to alternate these, which I'm pretty gutted about really, because it looked really nice before. I don't like it the way it is now. So that might change slightly, I don't know. Might come over here slightly, I don't know. But for now, it's staying where it is. So I had to alternate this because I had that before the pump. But you need the pump first, then the filter. So as you can see, I've got obviously my Cupro lines. I'm going to flare these ends. That one as well, and that one, and then the ones in the engine bay, to make sure the rubber pipe stays on. So that's it for the fuel side of it. So yeah, cracking on really. Right, so just to give you an update, what I've done is I've actually tapped it all the way through, and what I'm going to do is put a longer bolt in. So we're going to see how that goes. That's it. Loads of crap has come out with it. So I'm hoping that with a longer M6 bolt, that should be okay. But you can see it's been running down the sump. So yeah, so I'll clean all the sump off. I'll put a longer M6 in there, and hopefully that should solve the oil leak, and then reseal it again round here. I thought it was this one, but it wasn't. It was this one. This one's really tight. Every other one has tightened up. It's this one that just, as you know the feeling, it just goes, and you're like, ah. So yeah, so I'm going to take this tap out now, get a longer bolt and do it that way.